Hello students, I am Dr. Virenderjeet Kaur. I am here to teach you a subject of nuclear physics. So in the first session we start with nuclear properties. So let's have a look at the syllabus of nuclear physics. The syllabus consists of two sections, section A and section B. Section A consists of nuclear properties, forces between nucleons and nuclear models. While in section B, we have two parts of nuclear reactions, nuclear reaction 1 and nuclear reaction 2. So the question paper will consist of three sections A, B and C. Each of the section A and B will have 4 questions from the respective sections of the syllabus. The students are required to attempt 2 questions each from section A and B and the entire section C. Each question of section A and B carries 10 marks and the section C carries 30 marks. So this is the distribution of the marks. Question paper will consist of 3 sections. Section A having 20 marks consisting of 4 questions each of 10 marks. Section B of 20 marks and the section C, that is the compulsory section, that is of 30 marks. So 20 plus 20 plus 30 we have 70 marks. So you will have a theory paper of 70 marks with internal assessment of 30 marks. Now these are the different reference books. The most important book is Introductory Nuclear Physics by K.S. Crane by Johann Wiley and Sons. Then Introductory Nuclear Physics by Wong. Then Fundamentals of Nuclear Physics Jahan Singh and Nuclear Physics by D.C. Tile. So we will cover most of the syllabus from this book, Crane, Johann Wiley and Sons. Now, let's start with nuclear physics. Nuclear physics, it is a study of the nucleus and the nucleons. Nucleons, they are made up of protons and the neutrons, which in combination are called nucleons. Nucleons are further made up of quarks, which we will study in the particle physics in the next semester. So basically nuclear physics, it is essential for the understanding of the structure and origin of the world, in which we live. So this figure shows that the crystal is made up of molecules. Molecule is further made up of atoms. Within the atom, we have this atomic nucleus with which we are interested. Within the atomic nucleus, we have protons and neutrons. And protons and neutrons, they are further made up of quarks. So this is the different categorization of the particles. So in the left hand side, we have given the size of molecules, atoms, nucleus, nucleons and quarks. As you can see here, the size of the nucleus is 10 raised to power minus 14 meter, while the size of the nucleon is 10 raised to power minus 15 meter. Within the nucleus, we have the protons and the neutron. So we are interested in nucleus as well as the nucleons. Quarks, they come under the category of the particle physics. Atoms, they come under the category of the atomic physics, and molecule, they come under the category of the molecular physics. Now, the experimental and theoretical studies in nuclear physics have played an important role in the development of 20th century nuclear physics. Experiments in nuclear physics have been applied for the understanding of variety of problems, from the low energy phenomena, where we study the nuclear structure, to the intermediate energy phenomena, where we study the nuclear properties, and the high energy phenomena, where we study the particle physics. Here I want to tell you that in nuclear physics, research is of two types: theoretical research and the experimental research. In the experimental research, we have an experimental setup, we take readings, and then we compare our experimental results with the theoretical values. Similarly, in the theoretical studies, we have well-developed models, we do simulations, we have different softwares, we do the calculations, and then we compare our theoretical results with the experimental values. So both the experimental as well as the theoretical studies in nuclear physics, they go hand by hand. The most commonly known application of nuclear physics are nuclear power generation, nuclear medicine, and nuclear energy. So this is the application part of the nuclear physics. Today, the physician use techniques learned from nuclear physics experiments to perform the diagnosis and therapies in the areas deep inside the body without surgery. So this part, it comes under the category of the radiation physics, which we will further study in the third semester. That is the radiation physics, where we will study the alpha decay, beta decay, gamma decay, and their interactions with matter. So, generally, we study the origin of nuclear physics from the Becquerel discovery of radioactivity in 1896. Radioactivity, it is a spontaneous disintegration of an unstable nucleus into the stable nucleus with the emission of various subatomic particles like alpha, beta, and gamma. Now, let's talk about units and dimensions in nuclear physics. As we know that the basic units in physics are length, mass, and time, and the SI system expresses these in meters, kilograms, and seconds. But in nuclear physics, the units are different. Let's see. In nuclear physics, nuclear lengths, they are measured in Fermi. Fermi, that is the name of the scientist. So, nuclear lengths, they are measured in Fermi, and 1 Fermi is equal to 10 to the power minus 15 meter. Now, second is nuclear masses. Nuclear masses, they are measured in AMU, that is atomic mass unit. So, 1 AMU is equal to 1/12th of the mass of the neutral carbon atom. So, that is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 27 kilogram, that is in kg. And in terms of energy, 1 AMU is equal to 931.502 MeV. So, AMU is defined as a unit in terms of which the masses of various small particles like electron, protons, and neutrons can be expressed. Now we come to nuclear energies. Nuclear energies, they are measured in electron volt, that is eV. So on the higher side, we have kilo electron volt, we have giga electron volt, we have tera electron volt, and we have mega electron volt. So these are the higher units of energy. Kilo electron means, electron volt means 10 to the power 3, giga means 10 to the power 9, then tera, and then mega. So 1 electron volt is defined as the energy gained by a single unit of electronic charge when accelerated through a potential difference of 1 volt. So 1 electron volt is equal to the charge on 1 electron into 1 volt. As we know, the charge on the electron is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb into 1 volt. So coulomb into volt, it gives rise to joule. So 1 electron volt is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. So these are the units in nuclear physics. Now, these are the different energy ranges. First one is the low energy range, where the energy is less than 10 MeV per nucleon. MeV means mega electron volt per nucleon. So in this energy range, we mainly discuss the nuclear structure. Second is the intermediate energy range, where the energy lies between 10 MeV per nucleon to 2 giga electron volt per nucleon. In this energy range, we mainly study the nuclear properties. That is the topic of our present session. And third and the last is the high energy range, in which the energy is greater than 2 giga electron volt. And here we study the particle physics, or elementary particles. Now, let's start with nuclear properties. Nuclear properties have been divided into two main categories, static or general properties and the dynamic properties. So, static or general properties, and second are the dynamic properties. So, in the static properties, we have nuclear charge property, then we can measure the size of the nucleus or radius of the nucleus. So this property is called the nuclear size or radius. Then nuclear mass can be measured, that is nuclear mass. Then we have nuclear density, that is nuclear mass upon volume. Then we have nuclear binding energy, by which the nucleons they are binded within the nucleus. Then we have nuclear spin and nuclear angular momentum. Then nuclear magnetic moment, nuclear electric quadrupole moment, then nuclear parity, then nuclear statistics and nuclear excited states. So these are the different static properties of the nucleus. In the dynamic properties, we have decay probability and the reaction probability. Our aim is to understand